Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Hazafi bin Abdulhalim. I am from JBA 1114D. So, today's topics, I will talk about liquidity ratio. What is liquidity ratio? Liquidity ratio means provide a measure of the firm working capital management and its ability to pay short-term obligation. Liquidity ratio can be divided into two. The first one is current ratio. The second one is quick ratio. For the current ratio, it used to measure short-term solvency. Current ratio provide indication of the extent to the firm liquidity, how far claim of short-term creditor covered by current asset. Okay, the next one is quick ratio. Quick ratio known as acid test ratio. It used to measure firm ability to pay short-term obligation without having relied on the sale of inventory and prepaid that tend to be less liquid of the current asset. Okay, based on the question March 2016, if we want to find the current ratio, we have to use current asset divided to current liability. Okay, for the first one is cash. We have to use cash plus account receivable plus inventory plus marketable securities divided to account payable plus not payable plus accrued. So, this is the answer. 500 plus 1200 plus 700 and plus 300 divided to 500 plus 800 and 100. So, this is the answer. And the final answer is 1.93 times. Okay, that's all for the current ratio. Okay, for the quick ratio, we have to use current asset minus inventory divided to current liability. Okay, for the current asset is cash plus account receivable plus inventory plus marketable securities minus the inventory divided to total current liability. Account payable plus not payable plus accrued. For the current asset is 500 plus 1200 plus 700 plus 300 minus to inventory 700 divided to total current liability, which is 500 plus 800 plus 100. For the final answer is 1.43 times. Okay, for the comment, both ratio are good compared to industry analysis because it shows that company able to pay short-term obligation. This is because for the current ratio, the Blackie Enterprise has 1.93 times compared to industry index, which is 1.80 times, which is Blackie Enterprise are the highest compared to industry index, which is good. For the quick ratio, same, Blackie Enterprise are higher than industry index, which is 1.43 times compared to 1.25 times, which is good. Okay, that's all from me. Assalamualaikum.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. I am Azari bin Asman. I'm going to explain the activity ratios for March 2016. But before that, what is activity ratio? Activity ratio measures the effectiveness and efficiency of the firm in managing its asset. It relates the payoff from investment in certain assets. Activity ratios have four components, which is firstly inventory turnover or ITO. ITO measures how effectively the firm is using its inventory to generate sales. Low ITO indicates the firm is holding excess or that has a very high sales service level to avoid stock. This is a low strategy as there is a low chance of stock out to meet the production and sales need. Formula for ITO is cost of goods sold divided by inventory. Okay, the next item for activity ratio is average collection period or called ACP. ACP represents the average length of time that the firm must wait after making credit sales before receiving cash. ACP can also be compared to the firm's sales terms to see if customers are paying on time. The shorter the period is preferred as the cash cycle is slower and more cash is available. So for formula for the ACP is account receivable divided by sales and times 360. The third component for activity ratio is fixed asset turnover or FATO. FATO measures the firm's utilization of its plants and equipment. Higher the ratio is better as it indicates that more revenue can be generated per ringgit of its investment in fixed asset. Formula for FATO is net sales divided by net fixed asset. Okay, the last component of activity ratio is total asset turnover or TATU. TATU measures the firm's effectiveness in using all of its assets. Similar to FATO, the higher the ratio is better. Okay, the formula for TATU is net sales total divided by total asset. Okay, now, so let's jump to the question for March 2016. In this question, it wants us to find average collection period or ACP and also fixed asset turnover. Okay. For average collection period, as we know, the formula is account receivable divided by sales times 360. In this question, the amount of account receivable is 1,200 and the sales is 8 million. So we divide 1,200 and 8 million and then times 360, we will get 54 days. Okay. Compared to the industry, the performance of this company is poor because the SCP for the industry is only 45 days. Okay. The shorter the time is better. So it is better performance by the industry compared to the company. Okay. So the next one is fixed asset turnover. Like we know, the formula for fixed asset turnover is net sales divided by net fixed asset. So in this question, the amount of net sales is 8 million while the net fixed asset is 6 million. But before that, in this question, we have to find the net fixed asset first. So how can we find the net fixed asset? Okay, so to find it, we have to plus plant and equipment plus land and buildings and then minus by accumulated depreciation. And then we will get 6 million. Okay. So after 8 million divided by 6 million, we will get 1.33 times. Okay. Compared to the industry is 1.6 times. So the performance of this company is poor because in fixed asset turnover, the higher the ratio is better. So the company performance is poor because it only has 1.33 times. Okay, so that's all from me for activity ratio March 2016.
So my name is Muhammad Haziq Anwar bin Rosali Anwar. I will cover topic leverage ratio. So what is leverage ratio? Leverage ratio is any one of several financial measurements that look at how much capital comes in the form of debt or loans, or assesses the ability of a company that meet its financial obligations. So there is two types of ratio in leverage ratio. The first is debt ratio. The second is time interest earn ratio. So debt ratio is defined as the ratio of total debt to total assets expressed as a decimal or percentage. It can be interpreted as the proportion of a company's assets that are financed by debt. So the second is time interest earn ratio. Also it is called as TIE ratio. It is a measure of a company's ability to meet its debt obligations based on its current income. So based on the question from March 2016, as you can see, the formula is total debt over total asset times 200. So in this question, we get the total debt is 4,900,000 and the total asset is 8,700,000. So divide them and times 200, we could get 56.32%. So the industry suggests that we should get not more than 50% debt ratio, but in this case we got 56.32%. So it is more 6.32% from the suggestion of the industry. So it is we call poor. So for the next ratio, times interest earn ratio, the formula is earned before tax over interest. In this case, it is 800,000 over 280,000. Divide them and then we could get 2.85 times. So the industry suggests that we should get at least more than 3 times. But in the answer that we get is 2.85, less 0.15 from the suggestion of the industry. So it will be called poor. So both ratio are poorer as compared to industry analysis. It shows that the company has more debt as well high financial risk. So that's all for leverage ratio. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Lain bin Abubakar and I'm going to talk about profitability ratio. So profitability ratio is a measure of profitability which is a way to measure a company's performance. Profitability is simply the capacity to make a profit. And a profit is what is left over from income earned after you have deducted all costs and expenses related to earning the income. The formulas you are about to learn can be used to judge a company's performance and to compare its performance against other similarly situated companies. So there's 5 formulas of profitability ratio. First, gross profit margin. Gross profit divided by net sales. Next, operation profit margin. Earnings before interest and taxes divided by total sales. Net profit margin. Earnings after tax divided by net sales. Return on assets, earnings after tax divided by total assets. And lastly, return on common equity, earnings after tax divided by equity. So based on question March 2016, there's 2 formulas. Firstly, net profit margin. Earnings after tax, that is 312,000 divided by sales 8 million equal to 3.9%. So the conclusion is the performance of Black King Enterprise is good because they has 3.9% while industry index only has 3.00%. Next, return on assets. Earnings after tax 312,000 divided by total assets 8,700 equal to 35.86%. So the performance of Black King Enterprise is good because they has 35.86 while the industry index only at 8.50%. That's all from us, Group 7, March 2016. Thank you.